Hi, I'm Katlego Tlabela. I'm a fine artist, primarily a printmaker, but now I'm a painter. I was born in Pretoria and schooled in Cape Town at the University of Cape Town. Yeah, and I'm just a painter now. It's insane, first of all. Just also being an independent artist and knowing that it's very difficult to be in an institution as an independent artist it's a privilege on its own, you know. It's life-changing. It's sometimes I just don't believe it, you know. So yeah, and thank you so much for having us and documenting us and archiving us. The title is very powerful because it's kind of us saying we don't need the West to write about us. We don't need anyone else from the canon to solidify what we have done. It's mostly us seeing ourselves and trying to express ourselves in the most purest form and the most documented way, where we sourcing the great artists that are in this exhibition, you know. Like even just seeing my work next to a George Bemba blows my mind, because I'm like, we've studied this great artist since you were a child and now you're on the same exhibition with them. And also seeing their works in full color, whereas opposed to when you see it in a textbook at school, it's in black and white, it's a photocopy. And seeing it next to your work, it's mind-blowing. My influences are mostly from Simon Hlengethwa, David Hockney, 𝘾𝙀 𝙁𝙀, but also I've realized that just living and trying to experience what I'm trying to depict in the paintings has become influence for the works themselves. And also just studying like the social landscape, whether it's from Instagram or whether it's physical interactions with people. I believe that the work contributes to Black art history because now we're in a time where we can document and archive our current history that we are writing ourselves. It has been a disservice to many Black artists within Black art history, being undocumented, being unwritten. So seeing young artists like myself within these walls alongside people that we studied but we couldn't get that much access to has been a privilege. So my work tries to narrate a fictional idea of the Black elite. If you look at Johannesburg, if you look at Cape Town, there's various ways that the Black elite live, but sometimes it's rarely seen. So my work tries to narrate these lifestyles, these ways of living, whether it's touching on conspicuous consumption or whether it's trying to see how they live a luxurious lifestyle. But also it becomes fictional, where it's like a Black-owned property, which is rare, especially within our communities. And I try to just put these figures, Black figures, in these weird places, like let's say Dubai. There's a desert, and then there's a house with a swimming pool, and he has a white butler. So it's just imagining a way of living, but also taken from where I'm getting my research, from Instagram or from interacting with people. So in most of my work, my use of figuration is very limited. Because mostly when I started painting, I was just mostly interested in these spaces and try to limit the figure being in there. But then when you see the title of the work, it says Black-owned property. So when I started collaging, the figure wouldn't be like very visible in the painting. I would try to hide the figure, just so that people can, when they see the work, they can imagine themselves within the space. But when I do it with the painting that's here in the exhibition, I try to play with racial politics by the positioning of the figure. So the Black man would be a little bit lower, but he's the owner of the house. But then the white man is the butler, and he's the servant to the owner of the house. So there's fun ways to talk about like racial politics, gender, with the figures, but it's not really a driving factor for the painting itself. The figures are only thought about after the work is done. So like maybe 95% completion, and then I'll think, okay, how can we solidify this narrative within the painting?